Hello everyone, welcome to Chapter 2, Lesson 3. We're on page 109 in the book, and this is scan the lesson list 2 real-world scenarios in which you should write decimals as percents. So one way we can do this, a real-world scenario, is what percent of the human body is water. Another real world scenario is we can say to show what percent of the corn crops are grown in the United States. So I just put US. But we're going to move on to the real world link. A recent study tells the favorite subjects of students at Martin Middle School. So number 1, write a fraction with the denominator of 100 to represent the percent for each subject. So each subject has a denominator of 100. So for math, we're at 28. Science, we're at 21. Art, 16. Social studies, 15. English, 13. And the other is 7. So write each fraction in exercise 1 as a decimal. So that's 28 hundredths, 21 hundredths, 16 hundredths, 15 hundredths, 13 hundredths. Be very careful because this is not 7 tenths. We have a denominator of 100, so this is 7 hundredths. Very careful with that 7. So number 3, look back at exercise 2, compare decimals to the percents, explain how to write a percent as a decimal. So if I look at the math, I'm gonna do it side by side. That's 28% is equal 28% is equal to 28 hundredths. So what I notice is from a percent to a decimal, I move the decimal place twice to the left. I move the decimal place twice to the left from percent to decimal. So I'm going to go to page 110. It says write percents as decimals. Words. So write a percent as a decimal, divide by 100, and remove the percentage sign. This is the same as moving the decimal point 2 places to the left. So this is from percent to decimal. So 48%. If I have, this is an imaginary decimal because there's no decimal places behind it, but if I move it 2 places to the left, now I have 48 hundredths. So example number 1, write each percent as a decimal. So method 1, I can change 56% to 56% to a fraction, and I know that that is 56 hundredths. Or method 2, I can take 56%, I gotta work on my percent signs, and move the decimal place twice to the left to get 56 hundredths. So number 2, if I have 8%, and if I move the decimal place twice, 1, 2, we know that if there's a loop with nothing in it, we put a 0. So that equals 8 hundredths. Same with example 3. We have 2%. If I move the decimal place twice to the left, now I'm at 2 hundredths. So we're just moving the decimal place twice to the left when moving from a percent to a decimal. So go ahead and try A, B, and C. Pause the video. So when I have my final answers, so I took each percent, I moved the decimal place twice to the left. So I have 32 hundredths for A, 6 hundredths for B, and 93 hundredths for C. So I'm going to move on. Now we're moving from decimals to percents. So from decimals to percents, method 1 is we can change a decimal to a fraction to a percent. Or, if you noticed, we're just going to do the opposite. Instead of 2 places to the left, now we're going to do 2 places to the right. That's going to give me an answer of 38%. So if I have 2/10, if I move it 2 places to the right, same thing, I'm going to put it as 0 here. So now I'm at 20%. So I'm moving 2 places to the right with my decimal. So go ahead and try D, E, and F. So here are my final answers. To write from decimals to percents, I moved them to the right, the decimal place to the right 2 places. So 47 hundredths is 47%, 73 hundredths is 73%, and 5/10 is 50%. Because I'm putting a 0 in place for my empty loop. So example 6, the United States produces more corn than any other country, producing 4/10 of the total corn crops. Write 4/10 as a percent. So I have a decimal, and I have to change it to percent. That means I'm doing it 2 times to the right. And that's going to give me an answer of 40%. But that is the end of the video, so thank you for watching.